Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, law enforcement agencies gather at a cemetery in Pulaski County for a ceremony to remember those who died in the line of duty. And Governor Andy Beshear gives his thoughts about this proposed Medicaid cuts.
And it's quiet now, but that changes as we go into the second half of the work week. Details coming up.
Dedicated to Southern and Eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Caroline Mueller. The lives of 6 law enforcement officers who died in the line of duty were honored in one southern Kentucky city today. Somerset officers and deputies from Pulaski County gathered at the Somerset Cemetery this morning. WYMT's Phil Pendleton shows us how the officers' memories were honored.
Detail. Honor.
Somerset police officers joined Pulaski County deputies Wednesday as part of a National Police Week event at the Somerset Cemetery, where 6 officers are laid to rest.
End of watch, January 16, 1928.
Honoring 3 from Somerset's police department and 3 from the sheriff's office who died in the line of duty from 1891 to 2002.
It's important to see it, to come out here physically, see the headstones and to remember that.
It has been more than 23 years since Sam Catron was assassinated. There were 3 people arrested. 1 died in prison and the 2 others will be up for parole in April of 2027.
It never gets any better.
Nancy Catron lost her father, Somerset Police Chief Harold Catron, in 1964, and then her brother, Sheriff Sam Catron, in 2002.
Yes, you always learn things about people that they interacted with and people they helped that you didn't know existed.
Current Sheriff Bobby Jones was hired by Catron. Says he was at the fish fry the night that he was killed.
Well, it brings back memories. I was fortunate enough to be hired by Sheriff Samuel Catron, and he hired me and put me on as a deputy sheriff years ago.
Wonderful memories of all the good things they did.
Detail dismissed.
Time passes, but the memories remain fresh. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Burnside will have a service at 2 p.m. Saturday in Cole Park, honoring the officers who died in the line of duty from that community. A candlelight vigil was conducted last night in Washington, D.C., recognizing several fallen officers, including nearly a dozen from our area. We will have more about that in our next half hour. 22 more names will be added to the Kentucky National Guard Memorial in Frankfort. It will bring the total number of men and women who have died in the line of duty since 1912 to 317 soldiers and airmen. Of the new names being added, 14 died during World War I and 6 died during the post-9/11 era of a service-related illness while serving on active duty. The Kentucky National Guard's annual Memorial Day observance will be conducted on May 26th at 10 a.m. at the memorial. Storms are moving into eastern Kentucky, which is why the WYMT First Alert Weather Team has declared a First Alert Weather Day. Let us go to WYMT First Alert meteorologist Eric Dean for a first look at the forecast. Eric.
All right, Caroline, right now all is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar with the exception of portions of Pike County going into portions of Buchanan County, seeing some thunderstorm activity at this time. So we take a look at the temperatures right now. We're in the mid to upper 70s, 79 in Manchester, 80 in Harlan, Hazard at 75, Whitesburg is also at 75 as well. So all is going to stay quiet tonight. For the most part, maybe a thunderstorm or 2 in the overnight hours. Temperatures will be in the mid-70s by the 7 o'clock hour, low 70s by 10 o'clock, upper 60s by midnight. Now, first alert weather days have been declared for Thursday. Going into Friday, we have a marginal risk for severe weather, or level 1 out of 5, for the majority of the WYMT viewing area. Friday, though, is going to be my main concern, especially where you have that slight risk for severe weather, or a level 2 out of 5. We'll time everything out hour by hour using Future View in the first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Caroline.
All right, Eric, thank you. A Claiborne County, Tennessee woman was charged with promoting contraband into a correctional facility. Alicia Hulaver was arrested on May 7th after a correctional officer discovered a quantity of suspected meth that she had been hiding during the booking process. Hulaver was arrested on charges of exploitation of an elderly or vulnerable adult and possession of meth. She is also a wanted fugitive according to the Bell County Detention Center. A wanted man was arrested in Floyd County. The incident happened on Monday when sheriff deputies executed a traffic stop on Jacob Henson for traffic violations. Police deployed a canine officer, which they say detected narcotics in the vehicle. After Henson reportedly gave police false information about his identity, they learned he was wanted out of Indiana and had outstanding warrants in Kentucky as well. Henson was taken to the Floyd County Jail. We are learning more about a crash that killed a Tennessee college football player. Josh McAdams is accused of driving drunk in the wreck that killed William Hardrick. He recently appeared in court on a murder charge. McAdams admitted to drinking tequila and taking an energy supplement while driving his 18-wheeler. He reportedly hit 8 drivers, including Hardrick, whose car flipped multiple times. McAdams' case is headed to a grand jury. A deadly house fire is under investigation in southern Kentucky. 2 people were inside the Casey County home when a fire broke out Sunday morning at a home on High Point Road, approximately 6 miles outside of Liberty. A woman was able to escape, but a man inside did not. The coroner identified him as 73-year-old Humberto Medellin. No foul play is suspected in his death. The woman was taken to the hospital, but we do not know her condition. An Ashland man was sentenced to 15 years in prison for armed fentanyl trafficking. In February 2024, law enforcement officers began an investigation into the drug trafficking activities of Philip Conley. After police later obtained a search warrant for Conley's home, they found more than 57 grams of fentanyl and 2 firearms. Conley admitted he intended to distribute the fentanyl, and he possessed the firearms in furtherance of his drug trafficking crime. In Lawrence County, Ohio, a man was arrested last week on drug and gun charges. 44-year-old Douglas Smith faces charges after investigators seized more than 700 grams of meth, as well as firearms and cash on May 5th in the South Point area. Investigators say more charges could be coming. West Virginia State Police are asking for your help finding a missing man. Here's a picture of 37-year-old Joseph Abreu. Troopers say he has been missing since November of last year from Lincoln County. If you have any information about where he may be, you are asked to contact the number on your screen at 304-824-3101. Governor Andy Beshear was in Louisville today. WYMT's sister station Wave had the opportunity to talk with the governor. They asked him about the proposed Medicaid cuts. He said it would be devastating to millions of Americans who would lose coverage, most of which are children.
Those are kids. Those are seniors. Half of Kentucky's kids are covered by Medicaid. 70% of long-term care costs are covered by Medicaid. It covers the people we love the most, and those are the people that are going to suffer. And then the other thing that it does is just put a lot more paperwork requirements on people, many of which will lose their coverage, not because they don't deserve it, not because they don't qualify for it, but because they checked the wrong box. I don't think that's the right thing. People have to be healthy to be in the workforce. We ought to be getting everybody back into the workforce, but not looking at cutting their health care just to do it.
According to the Congressional Budget Office, an estimated 8.5 million Americans would lose coverage if these proposed cuts go through. Crews will start doing road work on one road in Perry County soon. Kentucky 3348 will be closed from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Monday until May 22nd. Transportation Cabinet officials say the road will be closed due to pavement repairs. The work will be at mile point 3.62. In Jefferson County, students will no longer be able to use their cell phones during the day at school, even at lunch. The change comes after a new state law limiting cell phone use during instructional time. A survey found more than half of teachers and 30% of parents supported the total phone ban. Board members say students will be able to keep their phones on them, but principals will determine if students keep phones in a locked pouch or backpacks. One road in Powell County will be closed later this month due to a bridge being replaced. Transportation Cabinet officials say Kentucky 1184 near the Roslyn community will be closed on May 27th. The bridge is located at mile point 0.2, which is about 0.2 of a mile from the Kentucky 11 and Kentucky 15 area. Officials say the new bridge is scheduled to be completed by late September. Folks can use Kentucky 615 and other routes in the area as detours. Members of the Boyd County Board of Education met last night to discuss the tentative budget for the upcoming school year. Some potential changes include cutting non-tenured teachers' salaries to meet state requirements. Larry Barber, the Boyd County School District's finance director, says he made the budget very conservative and believes this is a step to get them out of the hole.
Our goal right now is to continue to build this year after year to where we can get to a place that we can set some priorities as what are our educational goals for the students here in Boyd County.
Barber says the district borrowed $645,000 from the state education department to get out of the deficit, and they paid it off at the end of March, hoping to never freeze salaries again. This happened after multiple issues were discovered in the school's budget. Congressman Hal Rogers met with Eastern Kentucky superintendents and those with the Kentucky Association of School Administrators recently. The meeting was to discuss federal funding for education as well as food and medical needs for schools throughout the state's 5th congressional district. Congressman Rogers encouraged school administrators to remain in constant communication about needs in their schools. More than $830,000 was raised for nonprofits for the 13th annual Kentucky Gives Day. Hosted by the Kentucky Nonprofit Network, the event inspired folks throughout the state to donate to their favorite causes and utilize social media to help spread the word. Redbird Mission and Clinic received nearly $26,000 from 52 contributors for the day, finishing in the top 10 on the Kentucky Gives Day leaderboard. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, the Small Business Administration is now running a recovery center for those in Hardin County who were impacted by last month's flooding.
And in the world of weather, we have First Alert Weather Days on the map. We'll break everything out coming up.